Okay, I have a very short time span to show you quickly how to use Cinahl. So I'm going to go ahead and take my 15 minutes and go straight to Cinahl from the library's homepage, hbu.edu/Moody. And I'm clicking on Find Articles on the left side right there. And I'm going to click on Nursing and Kinesiology. Here's Cinahl right here. And if you're off campus, you'll be asked to log in. Usually a Husky dog will pop up and you'll be logging in there with your my.hbu.edu information login password. And here we are in Cinahl. And the reason it let me in was because I've already logged in to databases today. Okay, so I'm off campus, and I know for this class, for nursing classes, you will be required to only use the last 5 years in most cases. So I'm going to go ahead, since this is September, I'm going to say September here, 2010, and then I'm going to pick October for the month, because usually the journals will come out, you know, you'll get them in the mail or whatever, like a month later than what the actual date is. So we're doing September 2010, October 2015 here. Another thing you must do is you must limit to peer-reviewed journals. Here's your limit in Cinahl. So I'm going to click that off. And let's run a couple of quick searches right here. I'm going to add the word stress. And I'm interested in nurses and stress, so I'm going to put in nurses here. Now, by putting these together, I'm asking for these two words to appear in all the retrieved articles that I get. If I had added the word or between the two, which is a big no-no, you're basically saying pull up all the articles with the word stress and then separately do another search for all the articles with the word nurses, and then add them all together and dump them in a big sack, and you've got to go look through them all. But you really want both terms together, so you really want to use an and here. On the outside of your text boxes, these are text boxes that you can add more as you go, as you need to. Let me click on that. So you can see you can add more text boxes if you need to. You must have the word and on the outside. If for some reason you've got some synonyms and you're not sure what words to use, you can add an or within the text boxes. That's a Boolean operator or, and then the and outside is the Boolean operator and. And let's say anxiety. So stress is related to anxiety. They're similar terms, and I want to know about nurses and anxiety or stress and nurses. So this is actually running a search for stress and nurses, or also another search for anxiety and nurses. Okay, we're going to leave that simply like that and not add any more terms. Well, I could come along here and say or nursing. So I'm running another search here for nursing and stress and nursing and anxiety. Okay, now to make it simple on yourself, or easier to do, you can actually take all this away and just leave the root of the word nurse, nursing, and nurses, so NURS, and actually add the shift 8, the asterisk. That will take the root of the word and finish the word out for you. So that will search for it, everything after NURS. So you will get nurses, nursing, anything after that, plural or singular, or with any other endings. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our search. Oh, let me show you down here. Cinahl also has a limit for, let's see, where does that go? The CE modules. Make sure that's not necessarily all of them, but there is a limit here that will get you some. And then also you've got the limit for first author as a nurse or any author as a nurse. So take a chance and just go take some time and look through all the wonderful limits that Cinahl has for you, because when you use some of the other databases that are also made by EBSCO, they will not have these special limits that are available in this nursing database. Let's go ahead and run that search. And we have 5,000 articles. So I'm interested in the environment that a nurse might work in. Or I could put the word workplace. It could be hyphenated, I guess, also, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Or I could add or careers or job, whatever, but I'm just going to leave it like that. and I'm going to search and try to narrow this down by adding other terms. As you're changing limits or changing terms, make sure you always check on the left side, I'm waiting for it to appear over here, that you keep your published states that you've limited to and your peer-reviewed limits, okay? So as you can see, we've got some full text articles already right here, and here's one without the full text. So if I put my, this is a systematic review, I'm not sure you can use those or not, but it would be maybe to give you some ideas of some search terms and different ways to search. But let's take this one, let's look at this one right here, enhancing the resilience of nurses and midwives. If you put your mouse over this little icon with the magnifying glass, you will see some of the record for this article. The title of the article is here, the authors are listed, the source, the name of the journal, and then the date, and then it's an academic journal, and you see the subject headings here listed, and a little abstract, which is usually 100 words or less, covering that article. If I wanted it to keep this to email later, I could put it in my folder, and then when I scroll up the top, I can open all the ones I picked and email them at one time or print them at one time. As I'm going down here, I can see this article from Australia. Now, most of the time you're going to want to keep all of these in the United States, so really maybe I should not keep this one because this is also Australian nursing. So I'm going to remove that. Let's see if I can go down and find another one. Journal of Advanced Nursing, and if I put my mouse over the little abstract here, this is also Australia. Let's keep going down. American Journal of Critical Care, that might be a good one. So I can put my mouse over this one, and we're looking at this little summary here, and because I saw American here, I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. And here's Malaysia, effects of stress on nursing integrity. If I put my mouse over this, it's also full text. Let's see where this says. It's not necessarily telling me where this is, so I'd have to read that to see where this is. I'll go ahead and take that. But I want you to notice on this article that you've got cited references. If I click on this link, it will bring up all of the references, all the articles, all the sources that these two nurses used for this article, okay? This time cited in the database means that somebody used this article as a reference in their own article after 2013, after February 2013. So this article that's listed here has to be later than this published article, unless somehow this person that used this article got a copy of it as a friend from one of these nurses, or someone gave it to them before it was actually published, okay? So this is a good way to update. If you find an article that you really love, you can look at this time cited and get a later article about maybe the same topic. If you want to just go ahead and go to this site of references, you can use that and go to the home page to see if we actually have the full text, which is by looking at the publication locator A to Z, and then also you need to look at the catalog and search by periodical title to see if we have the journal. Sometimes when you click on that, it will actually be linked with PDFs right there. But number one thing you need to remember is you can't use anything later than the last 5 years without permission from your professor. Okay. So I've marked a couple of articles here. I want to show you that there's some limits over here. If you click on, let's say, major subject heading for one of these, any of these you pick over here, do not start checking these off right in here. Go ahead and open Show More so that you get all the different choices of what you can pick to limit by. If you start checking it right away, then it will run that search and limit you right then and there. So you can see here that I've got a whole lot more subject headings that I may not have even thought of by scrolling down and looking through this list rather than going and only looking at these here. Okay, I'm going to cancel that. I want to show you this geography button right here, because by opening this I can see that 102 are probably in the United States and would be good from this class. but I want to go ahead and look at show more to see if there are any more, because sometimes the person who's putting the data into the database about the different journals might say New York City, or say Texas, or a state or a city instead of United States of America or USA. So let me go ahead and say show more. And of course I don't have hardly any limits. Sometimes you'll see a scroll down right here, but let's check at this. We don't want Canada, we don't want these. So in this case it is okay to go ahead and say United States. I will update that, and now we've got our number of journals to go through down to 100 and 102. Okay, so going through these, here's another link source option. I don't know why the little green, there it is, green link source is there. Here's your PDFs for these other ones. I'm going to go ahead and check a couple of these just for fun. And like I said, if you mark any of these, you're not going to get the full text without going after it. So let me click on this link source and see if I can get this. This is compassion, fatigue among pediatric healthcare providers. That looks pretty good. This is in May 2015. We may not be able to get it because it's so current. It's from the American Journal of Maternal Child Nursing. So it's, let's see, volume 40, issue 3. So I'm going to click on this link source. And I can see that I'm going to be able to probably to get this article through Ovid. So I'm going to click on Ovid, another provider that's giving us journal articles besides EBSCO. And it's opening up for us, and this is another database that you are paying for, access that you're paying for when you pay your fees at HBU. So don't go out on the web and look for your articles, because you don't want to pay for anything extra. Also, you can't limit to peer-reviewed. Okay, so here's the article that we are looking for, and there's your information. But what you really want to do is open up the PDF, and when you open the PDF, you'll be able to see the different pages. So when you quote different things from different pages, you'll be able to have page numbers instead of having to count the different paragraphs. Now I'm still waiting for that to load. I'm probably going to go ahead and just get out of it to save time, but it is loading the article right now. There we go. So then you could download it to your flash drive and read that article. This is interesting. It's got continuing education contact hours. Let's just scroll down and see. Very good. If it actually has the questions. Just curious to see. Ah, there's some interesting data. Okay, nursing applications. Now I'm still not necessarily seeing the questions. Maybe they're down below. Here you go, CE test online. So maybe this will be what you can use, but you need to ask your professor about that, okay, before you start using that. Okay, so I'm going to close this link into Ovid, the databases, and I'm closing the link source link. I'm going to go back to my results from Cinahl, and I'm going to just pick a couple more of these and take them. And when you go to the top, you've marked several of them. Remember, if you mark one with link source and you won't actually get the full text when you go in there. When you email it, you'll just get the citation. Remember, when you check any of these over here and you narrow down, to always make sure, like I said, that the date sticks and the peer-reviewed sticks. You can see my limit here for the United States, USA. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on the folder on the top here. This will retrieve all the ones we put in the folder. There were 5 we selected, and I'm going to mark all 5 of them, and I'm going to email. So here's your print button. Email them to myself. And you can put whatever email you want to put in here, or you can send it to more than one person if you want to. I'll put my email in here, dkspear@hbu.edu, and I'm going to put in here, let's say, nursing articles, and I can put a little comment to myself, doesn't matter. And I can also say remove these items from the folder after emailing, but I'm not going to do that in this case. You can. But this is important, citation format. You can ask this database to format your APA for you. Just be warned that a lot of times it will not do it correctly. So I'm going to go ahead and send that. And that is all the time we have for this